Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here. Marie and I will be going live here at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as always. Today's subject is They Move, You Move. Podcast 74, They Move, You Move. Important information that you'll want to know about. This is a critical component of the business building process. If you don't know what this is and you're not using it, you're at a major disadvantage. Look, this will help you become a focused business building machine. If you want to learn more about how you can use this and adapt it into your business building activity immediately, join us today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. How are you today?
Good morning, Rob. I am doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing much better. Well, thank you for asking, first and foremost. And let me just say this today, guys. For all you joining us, we are on podcast number 74. The subject of today is They Move, You Move. If you don't know what that is, you'll want to stay tuned because this is a critical component to the business building activity. It is something that pros use to help them become the focused business building machine they are known for. And if you want to become that focused business building machine, enable yourself to achieve wonderful results in this great business model, then you'll want to stay tuned and find out how this works and what it is, et cetera, et cetera. So with that being said, today's 11:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got started pretty much on schedule today, Miss Marie. Isn't that awesome?
It is. That's pretty good for a Monday.
For a Monday. And Marie and I were talking before we got on here. I have changed internet providers. I will not go into the name calling. I don't believe in that. I don't think there's anything positive. I look awful dark. Do I look dark to you?
Well, you look like you're kind of tan today. Sure.
Yeah. I don't know why the lighting. All the lights are on. They're all in the same position.
That's all right. The people on the podcast can't see us anyway.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, Anyway, I had a great weekend this weekend, Miss Marie. Got a lot done. And guess what? I've been lifting my arm up. And for all of you on the podcast that can't see, I have two pillows stacked one on top of the other. And then what I'm doing is trying to move my arm from the chicken wing position out to that position as a chicken. Because what happens is your muscles up here get frozen in this position. And when you go to the physical therapy, I don't know if you know this, Miss Marie, but what they do is they grab it and they go one quick jerk. So I'm getting ahead of the curve and loosening up those froze up muscles. And it is painful. And the only way I can do this, Miss Marie, is by taking my pain meds. And even then I can only have them up there for about 3 or 4 minutes. But you know what? You got to start somewhere, right?
Exactly. Got to do what you got to do.
That's right. So I am making progress. Anyway, I had a great weekend. It was very productive. The wife and I got a lot of stuff done this weekend. She's a real trooper. She has been running herself ragged, picking up the slack of the injured hubby. But she knows that I would do the same for her. So it makes it easier. She's been a real trooper.
That's awesome.
It is. So how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I am excited. Ski season is coming to Utah. It snowed yesterday and overnight. And it's the perfect time of year for snow because I'm looking out my window right now at the side of the mountain. Everything's snow covered. The snow's sticking to the trees. It's on the grass. It's on everybody's rooftops. But you know where it's not? It is not on the pavement.
That's the kind of snow you like, right?
Exactly. You get the beauty of the snow without the shoveling. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, of all the times I've been in Utah, and I've been there a lot, I've never been during the snow season.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, it's not. I may be wrong in that. Hold on. I'm not going to hijack the show on this. I drove from North Dakota to California to pick up my ex-fiance back then. And we ran in as I was going down, I was by myself. I ran into a beautiful snow, but it was as I was leaving West Montana, going through Idaho and into Wyoming, in that area there.
Mm-hmm.
And the snow, it was a postcard, a living postcard. A family of bison, probably about 12, 13 of them were off to the side. I mean, they're right by the road. I don't know if they're not afraid of humans at all.
No, they're not. And it's really funny. They had signs while we were in South Dakota that I thought were absolutely hysterical. They were like, "Don't pet the fluffy cows with the outline of bison on them." Because people think they're cute and they want to walk up on them and take pictures. They don't understand how mean and dangerous they can be.
Yes.
So I thought that was funny, calling them fluffy cows.
I have not seen that. That's cool. And Miss Marie's right, guys. If you're traveling through that part of the country, do not get out and pet those things. They look docile when they're grazing, but boy, they will turn on a dime and they show no mercy. They will kill you in a minute. And there has been many a person that's been maimed and killed. But they don't charge. I mean, they will. But boy, it just takes, if they get you down the ground, they're going to stomp you with their hoofs and they are going to gouge you. You will not survive that attack. Do not get pet. I've seen people doing that outside. It's like, hey, trying to, and those bison will look up at you and they'll stand there chewing and looking at you. And you think, well, they're not upset. Ooh. Man.
Yep. And that's our public service safety message for today. Right. Now on with the show.
Okay. Well, today's show is a great topic. As I just said at the intro, they move, you move. Man, this is an old business building tactic. It's been around, I would almost say, because I wasn't there when the person put this term out there on this tactic, nor was I there when they decided it was important. But I was in the early stage. I mean, think about it. The network marketing business started in the late 50s, like 57, 58, 59, somewhere in that time frame. There's a long history. I've read it many times. I can't remember it as I get older, the exact time frame. But anyway, it morphed from there until Jay Van Andel and Dick DeVos adopted from, which I won't get into, the gentleman that really kind of set the whole wheels in motion. Long story short, the business took off, or the industry took off from there. And we all started learning all these little tactics that worked like any other industry. And this is one of them, because I started in the early 80s. So that was 16 years after the industry started. And really, the industry really started rocking in the 80s and 90s. Not saying it did in the 70s. It certainly was healthy in the 70s, but it really started rocking. So with that being said, I was fortunate to be around some of the people that were there from the inception of network marketing, the Bill Britts, the Dexter Yeagers. I did not hang out with them. I want to make that perfectly clear. Was I around them? Yes. Did I meet them? Yeah. No. I didn't. No. Let's see. No, I don't think I did meet Bill Britt. I was right there. I don't remember. But I was with the people that were very close friends with him. I know that. No, the Glenn Bakers, the Ron Couriers, people like that. I can't remember. Anyway, it's unimportant, right? It doesn't matter, Miss Marie. The bottom line is I was around the people that were at the genesis of this industry, and I remember them talking about they move, you move. So this has been around a while. And I did understand what they were saying. I did understand that, but I really didn't, once again, grasp it until you actually get into the business building process, right, Miss Marie?
Yep.
And what happens is, guys, unfortunately, if you don't have a lot of leads, you ignore this. And I did ignore it in the beginning because I thought I had to be the aggressor. I thought I had to make things happen. Because what are we taught, Miss Marie? If you want to make things happen, what? Get out there and do it yourself, right?
Absolutely. Use that 3-foot circle. Anybody that's within 3 feet of you, they're a prospect. Go after them.
That's absolutely right. But you know what, Miss Marie? It's true in anything, in any venture that you're going to start out. If you want to make things happen, guess what? You have to take responsibility and get out there and make it happen. Well, here's part of the problem with that. And as you know, there's gray areas in life that make life work. We call it grease in the wheel. They move, you move is one of these grease in the wheel things. And you say, well, what do you mean? Well, we just talked about how you need to take responsibility and be aggressive, go out there and do your thing. You're the genesis of your future and whatever you choose to do. And it's hard to say they move, you move. Well, what does that exactly mean? It means that you don't move until Miss Marie makes the first move first. Okay. And that's hard to do when you're told your whole life you want to make things happen, get out there and make them happen. So it flies in the face of what you've been taught. It flies in the face of wisdom. It flies in the face of what comes naturally to us. And that is what? If I'm going to build a box, I have to get the wood, nail it together. I have to be the activity. Okay. I have to be the creator of that process. It's hard for me to sit back and say, when the box moves, I'll move. When the nails move, I'll move. Okay, that's not going to work in building a box, right? All right, so with that being said, let's clarify and let's go deeper into what this is referring to. Here's the thing. During the prospecting process, you make the initial contact. You either, whether it's a business card, whether you bought a list, whether you have a lead generation system in place, whatever the case may be, you're getting leads. Those leads are not going to call you, okay? Unless you have a website that's generated and you tell them to call. And even then, I'm going to be honest with you, it comes across as a scam and chances are really small they're going to call you. You have to be the aggressor. You have to take responsibility. Where did we hear that before? Just a few minutes ago. All right, but here's what needs to happen. You got to make the initial move. If Ms. Marie is on my prospect list, I have to somehow contact her. I'm the initial generator of that potential relationship. Okay, but here's the thing. I call Ms. Marie. We agree to either do a Zoom meeting, meet in person, whatever. I deliver the music to the ears message. She says, I like what I hear. How do I learn more? What about the company, blah, blah, blah. What do I teach you guys? Do not answer those questions. You say, hey, that's a great idea. Look, the company is its best promoter. I need you to go to the website and go there. Well, there's videos there. There's products. I cannot take the time. I'm a professional business builder. I am not a information center. And I'm using terms here that I wouldn't use in the message. Okay, guys, I'm paraphrasing, trying to paint a picture in your mind. So my stance is, hey, go to the website. Here's why. Okay. And sometimes some people will say, well, why do I need to go to the website? You're right here. I said, look, you know what? I'm a business builder and I have to be a focused business building machine. I have another appointment immediately after this one. If I answer the questions people have, then what ends up happening is that I don't meet my next appointment. And plus I get off target. Okay, I'd answer the questions if I have to in an honest, legitimate, nice way, professional way. But I tell them the importance of going to the website because it's one of the tools I use. The company has a great amount of information about itself, about its products, about its comp plan. They could do a far better job than I could because I don't know anything about the ingredients in the products, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I only tell you that on the peripheral so that you understand my mindset when I'm in front of Miss Marie. So I deliver the music to the ears message. Miss Marie plays along like she should. She says, okay, I'll go to the website, and we set up a follow-up date. Okay. And I tell her, okay, now you can do it one or two ways. I can say, Miss Marie, when you get done with the website, please call me. Okay. And I used to do that in the beginning, but you know what that does, guys? It invites chaos. This is a golden nugget of information. You say, what do you mean? It's great that she's calling you back. No. You know why? Because if I'm a focused business building machine, I'll have almost every part of my day already planned out. Who I'm going to call, who I'm going to follow up. I can't have arbitrary calls calling in. Okay, while I'm trying to do these things. I have to have a schedule. I have to maintain control of that schedule. Why? So I could be the focused business building machine. If I let her control it, now she's controlling me. Okay, so.
Well, and here's the other aspect. I just want to jump in here on this point is that you're also building in speed and urgency by not saying, give me a call after you've looked at it, because you've probably contacted this person out of the blue. They've got a bunch of other stuff going on. They're naturally going to put this off. They're not going to prioritize it. So if you tell them, call me after you've had a chance to see it, they're going to think, oh, I'll look at it over the weekend. The weekend's, it's just going to get pushed out indefinitely. Yes,
absolutely. Great point. Absolutely. And she nailed it. And on top of that, guys, what it does, it interrupts. She absolutely right. Your focus of business building activity. Why? Because they could call on the weekend during your family time. They could call in the middle while you're doing another call. And then if you stopped every time, and the bigger you become and the more people you contact, you're going to have not only Miss Marie, but probably 8 or 9 other people calling you. And you'll never have any momentum. You'll never have any consistency. What do we tell you all the time? CCBBA. Consistent, correct business building activity. You can't have consistency if you're constantly interrupted when you're trying to follow up with people. Great point, Miss Marie. Thank you. So here's the thing, guys. I made the initial contact, Miss Marie. She played along. She went to the website. I told her I would follow up because here's the thing. Before we left our initial briefing where I delivered the music to the ears message, whether it's in person, over the Zoom, over Skype, whatever, you can even do it over the phone if you so choose. But here's the thing. I schedule a follow-up with her. Okay. And I tell her I will call at so-and-so time. This is what we agreed on, so-and-so date. And like with her and I, let's say it's going to be this Wednesday, November 11th. Miss Marie wants me to call her at 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. I write it down. Guess what? Wednesday, the 11th, 3:30 p.m., I call. Okay. And I'm still being the aggressor. I'm still taking responsibility. Why? Because this is still, believe it or not, a part of the initial contact process. Okay. It doesn't become, it doesn't change until after I do the follow-up. So November 11th, Wednesday afternoon, 3:30 p.m., I call Miss Marie. She's not there. And we went through this before. I leave a love them and leave a message. Okay. Now, this is where the they move, you move comes in. She didn't answer the phone. Could be for any number of reasons. Okay. I leave a love them and leave a message. Hi, Miss Marie. This is Rob Cootie. We talked on Monday, November 9th. We scheduled this follow-up time at 3:30 p.m. I just want to make sure that I did what I said I was going to do. I'm sorry that I missed you. Hope everything's fine. If you would like to talk further, please give me a call. I do have other calls the first time I have available, and I'm not doing this to pull her leg. I'm being honest because I schedule one after the other. So I say, okay, I won't be available until 7:30 p.m. tonight, okay, because I'm full until then. I've got a number of follow-ups. I tell her that. It was great talking to you. It was great meeting you. Hope we can talk soon, and I look forward to it. And I hang up. I make it short and to the point. Now is when the they move, you move comes in. Because as I told you guys before, everybody with me has one strike against them. I only do 2 more, okay? And if I can't get a hold of them, that's 3 strikes. And it tells me, because I have to have a standard for myself. And what does it do? That forces me to what? To move on. Because it's important. It's imperative to my success that create that speed and urgency. And in order to do that, I have to move through people. I cannot chase people. I cannot wait for them. So I've left a love them and leave them message with the Miss Marie. She either calls me back or she doesn't. Okay. If I don't hear from Miss Marie over 2 or 3 days, guess what? Her file goes in the cabinet and I move on. I forget about it. I don't leave it on my desk where it's staring me in the face, where it's putting unforeseen pressure on me because I see her folders in there. You need to follow up with her. You need to call her again. Hey, how come you haven't called her again? No, I take it, I put it away and she's gone. The only way I pull that folder back out is if I hear from her again. She, once again, could be a doctor. She could be a fireman. She could be a dentist on a mission. I mean, there's so many things that could take her time away from that particular appointment. What if something happened in her family where she had to fly somewhere to be with someone? We don't know that. And I'm not going to go through a list of potential issues that kept her from that 3:30 appointment. I don't judge and I'm not mad at her. Okay, I understand that life happens. I understand that sometimes, Miss Marie, as you know, some people are afraid to say no. And guess what? When they don't answer the phone, sometimes that's their way of saying no because they're afraid of that. Even though it's not face-to-face, to them it is. And they're afraid to disappoint people. It's based on how they were raised. Right, Miss Marie? You've experienced it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You are 100% dead on there. And there is that soft no that people are going to give. You know, they're never going to come out and flat out say, I'm not interested. No, I don't want to. And I think part of it is people have a fear of being sold at that point. Yeah. You know, and if you do have a prospect that says, no, I'm not interested, leave it at that. It's like, all right, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I wish you all the best. Take care. Boom.
Absolutely. Miss Marie, I love that stuff. And I don't know if I told this before, but when I was single and if a girl said no to me, I was excited. Okay. And it wasn't like I was jumping up and down with pom-poms. It didn't hurt my feelings. But here's the thing. Why spend my time with someone that doesn't want to be around me for whatever reason? Okay. I understand that we're not going to be universally liked by all human beings. We have differences. Sometimes those differences repel people away from you. That's okay. That's part of life. Okay. So I was happy that, number one, I said, well, you know what? Thank you for having the guts to say that. And I appreciate that. And it was nice meeting you. And I did the love them and leave them even in those situations. I'm not afraid to say that, hey, I've had women say no. That's okay. I understand that's part of life. And I'm not ashamed of that in any way, shape, or form. Well, guess what? That also carried over into my businesses. And I mean, I use plural, businesses. Because guess what? I get told no in my other businesses as well. Okay. And guess what? I don't fret over it. Matter of fact, I rarely even think about it, Miss Marie, until we have these episodes. And I should bring some Kleenexes.
Well, exactly. And here's the thing too, the whole idea behind they move, you move is there's a little bit of a barrier to entry to become part of your business organization. You want action takers. You want decisive people. So you want the people that are going to say yes, and they're going to follow through on what they said they were going to do. And then you have a potential winner on your hands, a potential leader that you can begin working with. The people that hem and haw and kind of like put you off or don't answer your calls or they say they're going to do something and they don't. It might as well be a no. You might as well move on because you are looking for the people that have the high level of interest. You want the people who want to build the business, the decision makers, the action takers. That's who you want on your team.
Absolutely. And I will say this, Miss Marie, this particular scenario that we're talking about right now, guys, this is a prime example of the music to the ears message, separating the wheat from the chaff, the pretenders from the contenders. Okay. She just, once again, nailed it. Look, when I do that follow-up, I understand that this phone call follow-up may go unanswered. And I also understand that a lot of people, that's a no. And I also understand that is what the system is designed to do, is to separate the yeses from the nos. And I get that. Okay. So I don't fret over it. I just keep accurate records. And as I tell you guys all the time, I have my documents in front of me. When I make the calls, I put down, I called Miss Marie at the appointed time, and I'll write it out. I won't just leave the words appointed time. I'll put down November 11th at 3:30 p.m. I love them and leave a message and told her to get back with me if she would like. And that's it. And then her folder literally goes in my file cabinet. Okay. And I'll take it, Miss Marie, and I'll see if I don't have time, I'll take it and turn it over. Because to me, that signifies to me personally that is a completed file. I won't leave it face up where I see Miss Marie's name. I'll turn it over. Why? Because I've done all I can do. As far as I'm concerned, that's a done process. The only way that gets turned back over is if she calls me. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, Miss Marie, past experience has taught me that if Miss Marie calls back and Miss Marie, number one, is listening for my tone, oh, I'm so sorry. And she wants to see if I'm pissed off at her. She wants to see if there's already been a divide between us, But I've had it happen many times. People would call back and say, man, I'm so sorry that I missed it. No, it's okay. Look, you know what? Life happens for whatever reason. That's okay. Let's move on. I'm not upset about it. So don't you be upset. And you know what, Miss Marie, they'll be more dedicated to you as a customer, as a business partner, because you treated them right. They'll feel like there's an obligation on their part because Rob was so nice to them and so patient and so kind of insincere that they're like, this guy really treated me right. Regardless of the reason, whether they lied to me or not is irrelevant. You know what? I'm going to treat them right because I have no reason to treat them otherwise. And I'm not going to be pissed off because they didn't answer the phone. Okay. I can't tell you how many people have come back and said, hey, I really appreciate it, man. You were first class. I mean, more times than even when they decided not to, they'll say, look, it had nothing to do with you because you were first class. You treated me right. You were informative. You were helpful. This is just not for me, but I really appreciate the way you handled the whole process. It was first class. And you know what? That just reinforced the love them and leave them method, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And it doesn't mean you won't run into them down the road.
That is correct. So that is very much kind of on the prospecting side when you're contacting people for the first time. But I think there's also a they move, you move element when it comes time that they actually sign up and join. Yes. So should we touch on that for a little bit?
Absolutely, because I wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yep.
Okay, so in that scenario, let's close it out. She was not there. She calls me back. What do I do? Because this is not the prospecting. We're not talking about prospecting here or the recruiting process. We're talking about they move, you move. If she calls me back, okay, she made the first move. I just pick up and I go with it. And I finish this because the whole purpose of the prospecting process is to sign her up if she's ready, meaning that I will eventually get to, and I mean quickly, okay, because I don't want the word eventually mean that I'm lazy about that approach. I will quickly bring her to the scale of interest, right, Miss Marie? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Miss Marie's going to tell me I'm a 7 or 8, and I'll say, is there any reason you won't get started right now? Okay? I'll bring that whole process to a close, even if she calls me back. We just pick right up and move right on, right, Miss Marie? And complete the process. Okay. All right. So what if I call November 11th at 3:30 p.m. and she does answer the call? That tells me that she has real potential, that she could be a leader, as she just said. She'll ask me questions because she went to the website and she checked the product. We'll answer the questions. We bring it to close, same way, scale of 1 to 10. Where's your interest lie? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's how that part of the quote unquote prospecting process works. And the key component is they move, you move. And in that particular example is if she calls me back when she's not answering the phone at 3:30 p.m. on the 11th. Okay, so we're done with that. Hopefully, did I make that clear? I hope so.
Yep.
Okay. So now Miss Marie's in the business, okay? And now I've trained her. As you guys know, within 2 hours, you should be able, Miss Marie thankfully has some background in the network marketing industry. We go through the training. She says, hey, I get it. This is simple. This is easy. This is awesome. I get it. Okay. So I pretty much can let Miss Marie, because she has prior experience, I can pretty much just let her kind of, hey, there's any questions? You need any help? No, I can do this myself. I don't need any three-way calls. I've got a list of names, and I've also already set up a lead generation system. I'm ready to go. Okay. I'm just going to work on mastering the music to the ears message. Okay, Marie, if you need me, I'm here. I don't, but also we talked about how I'll say, Miss Marie, do you want me to touch base with you once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week? If she says, nope, I'm good to go, Rob, don't follow up with me at all. If I have a problem, I'll contact you. What does that tell you? They move, you move. What do I put on her paperwork? Do not contact. She will contact me if she needs help. I do not move unless she moves, meaning, and I don't contact her at all until she contacts me via email, text message, whatever. The only time I will contact her, and this is not backpedaling, this is not changing the narrative here. Here's the thing. If I log into her back office and I see that she's either struggling or that she's doing really good, I'm going to send her, if she's doing really good, hey, you're doing awesome at cheerleading, email or text. You're doing awesome. If there's anything you need, just let me know. But I just wanted you to know that I'm very proud of you. You are doing fantastic. And that's it. That's not a weekly follow-up with her. I'm not violating our agreement. I'm doing a cheerleading thing here. And that is appropriate. Okay. And matter of fact, you need to do that. Not you should. You need to do that. The other thing is, if you see a potential problem in your back office and you want to let her know, because you don't know her depth of knowledge about the industry, you don't know her depth of knowledge about the business building process, and finally, more importantly, she may not have noticed it yet. And as a partner, not as a lead, you're not her boss, as a partner, a concerned partner, you say, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I looked in my back office and saw this here. Did you see that too? If not, if you need help, let me know. And that's it, guys. Okay. The thing is, I contacted her out of concern on one part, and the other part is a cheerleader. I don't move until she moves. If she says, hey, I see that same problem you do, when can we talk? I set up an appointment with her. Why? Because she moved. She got back with me and said, hey, I see that problem too. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'd like some input on that. She contacted me. She moved first. Now I'm moving. You might say, well, Rob, you made the first call. I mean, the first move. You contacted her about the problem. No, as a partner, and I'm not playing on words here, as a partner, I saw something that could be an issue. And as a partner, what do good partners do, Miss Marie? They work together, right?
Well, and communication's essential. The other thing you have to keep in mind, whether or not I have that background in network marketing, this is a new company. This is a new back office I'm looking at. I may not know how to read things exactly. I may not have realized a particular report was available. And by Rob going in and keeping an eye on those things and kind of flagging those potential problems and letting me know, that's an assist. That's something I'm going to want. It's not going to be an imposition of time or anything like that. And
right.
Especially if you're communicating via email, text message, whatever, I'm busy making my calls and doing my thing. Well, I'll get to the email or the text message when I can. And when I recognize what it is, I may be like, either, oh, yes, I was already aware of that, but thanks for letting me know. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Thanks for letting me know. Now I can go deal with it. Right. Or if it's something that's totally outside my wheelhouse, then I can reach out to Rob for more assistance.
There it is.
Get that issue addressed. So absolutely, that's not any kind of imposition. I mean, that's really helping build success in your team members' organizations. And that's what you want to do.
That's absolutely right. And you know what? I'm not violating your request not to follow and not to contact you unless you'll contact me if you have problems. I'm not violating that request at all. Okay. Because as a prior network marketer, you get it why I contacted you and you appreciate it instead of getting upset about it. Guys, you got to realize that certain leaders like Miss Marie, like if Miss Marie was to join a company now, she knows what to do. She doesn't want somebody calling her all the time or emailing her all the time. That's going to piss her off. It's going to push her away. She wants to focus on what she knows she needs to do. She doesn't need that extra bull crap coming in, that extra noise coming in and her having to deal with that. She's like, I don't want to answer this email. This is ridiculous. I don't want to answer this text message. You know what? I've got better things to do. So that's the reason why you don't want to violate her request. Please, Rob, don't contact me. Don't follow up. If I need something, I'll contact you. So, all right. So in the business building process, in this example, she only moves first when she acknowledges there is a problem in the process and she's willing to talk about it. Okay. So, all right. And we'll summarize all this. If we've confused you a little bit, we'll clearly summarize it. The other thing is, guys, look, if I sign Miss Marie up and she does absolutely nothing, okay, and I know she has prior networking experience, and during the training, I got a good impression because I always take notes, even after the training. Hey, you know what? She really got it. She understood it. Good to go. Because why? Because these notes help me if I need a refresher. If we decide to get together 2-3 weeks later, I've got all these people I'm dealing with. I'm not going to remember every little detail about our prior conversation. That's a reason why these notes are so important. I'll write down, hey, she had a firm grasp of the system. She asked great questions. I have no doubt she knows how to make this thing work. Okay. On the other hand, if she had some questions and a little bit, she seemed a little bit shaky, I'll write that down too. Why? Because if I see no activity after 2 or 3 weeks, and I know she has prior experience and she grasped the training really well and totally got it, I'm going to take the first move. But this is not violating our thing, our agreement. I will get with her and say, hey, I noticed there's no activity. Is everything okay? I'm not even going to ask her, anything any deeper than that, because it could be a surface issue that she's traveling. She's working, has a job, She had to go out of the country. It came up all of a sudden. She didn't have time to email anybody. She just took care of her family, got packed up, and off she went. Okay. And she's totally focused on what she needs to take care of wherever. Okay. But it doesn't hurt to email her and just say, hey, I just noticed there's nothing going on. Is everything okay? And I'll leave it at that. Okay. If she responds and says, hey, we need to talk, that is her first move. In this example, they move, you move. She now has moved despite the fact I contacted her. Why? Because it was a contact of concern. It was not a follow up. Hey, why aren't you doing something? Beating her over the head. Hey, you know what? You're not doing anything. Hey, what's going on? How come you're not doing something? No, it was a contact of concern. And she gets that. Being, once again, a prior network marketer, she understands why I'm contacting her. She totally gets that she's not signed one person up, not created any volume. She gets it. Okay. And she loves the tone of the message. Okay. Because I'm showing what? Concern for her first and foremost. So they move, you move. Her first move is replying, no, I'm overseas. I had to leave the very next day. It was an emergency. I'll get back with you later. We need to catch up. Okay. On the other hand, she could say, hey, yeah, let's talk. I'm overseas, but I got some questions. Okay. That is her moving first in the business building process. So I really hate getting in this much detail, but this is important because there's different they moves, you moves first. You're going to have a lot of people at different levels. Remember, there's always the numbers working, 97% versus 3%. You're going to have a lot of people that are not going to be moving. You cannot follow up with all those people. If you're building a business, you cannot follow up with all those people. You have to wait until they move first. Okay. Nothing wrong with, once again, sending out massive, if you so choose, concerned contacts. That's what I mean. I forgot about what I just called it a moment ago. You can send out a bunch of concerned contacts to those people. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a they move first. What you're doing is following up because you see nothing happening. And that is a concerned contact. They move first is when they reply and request, yes, can we talk? Okay. If you don't hear anything, they haven't moved first. If you send out that concerned contact and nobody replies, they have not moved first. And that tells you exactly what you need to know. And then you know what it is, Miss Marie, move on, right?
Well, exactly. And that's where you want to make the distinction between, the they move, you move. If you're bringing people into your business and then they're not doing anything, you don't see any transactions going through, you see no volume happening, no movement, you don't spend your time chasing them. You're looking for the leaders. You're looking for the people who are creating volume, who are starting to bring others into the business and show your support that way. That's right. That's really where the focus comes in place. Now, these concerned contacts, as Rob's referring to them, you've brought them into the business. There's no activity. You want to at least reach out and offer assistance, check in. Just want to make sure everything's okay. Let me know if you have any problems. I'm here to support you. If they choose not to respond, you don't continue to chase them with more concerned contacts. You just let it go. You have to focus on the people then that are business building. That's and right. You will be shocked if you haven't experienced it already, the number of people that will come into your business and do absolutely nothing.
That's right.
You got to let it go. You just got to let it go.
That's right. There it is. As simple as you can make it, what she just said. Now, and when you send out that first concerned contact message, Miss Marie, I used to, because some of the back offices had direct messaging in them where you could contact Marie straight on. Guys, if I was you, I would send a message through the back office. I'd send a message via text and I'd send a message via email all at the same time. That way you covered every base. And then when you decide that, hey, this contact's gone, you did everything you could. Okay. If you leave one of those out, you're going to say, oh, maybe they didn't get the message. Guys, just because you know what, you can say the text message is the most direct route. You're right. But what if she changed her service providers and chose to give up that old number? Okay. So the thing is, use all three. That's what I did. So that when I closed out the file, I knew I did everything I could do. That was the only forms of contacts I had. Okay. And so that's what I did. And Miss Marie, like I said, I always use the 3-strike rule. Here's the thing. I do a concern contact the first week, that I like, let's say the 3 weeks go by, and the 4th week, I make my first concern contact and say, hey, is everything okay? Whether it's one person or 10 people, hey, all these people joined on the same day. There's no activity amongst all these 10 people. Bam, I send it out. Okay, now I'm going to wait at least 2 weeks. I'm going to let them be in the business at least 2 weeks. That's plenty of time. And if I see no activity, I'm going to contact them. And that's my second. Remember, everybody has 1 strike. I send out that first concern contact. That's strike number 2 if I don't hear from them. I'll send 1 more the very next week. And if I don't hear from them, that's strike 3. They're done. Now, that was my guidelines. Okay, I'm not saying mine's better than yours, Miss Marie. I'm not saying that at all. Everybody can choose your own. That was mine. Because once I did it the 3rd time, I turned it over. I said, okay, I'm done. That's all I can do. I've done everything. And it's obvious the second time, you know what I'm saying? The first time they may not have got the message, whatever, which I hardly believe, but whatever. But the second time, if I send it again, guess what? They're just ignoring me. And that's okay, right?
Right. And the key here really is set a boundary, set a limit when you're going to draw the line and be done. You don't week after week after week keep reaching out to the same person. You're wasting your time, and they're either ignoring you or whatever. It's just, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
No, it's not. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. If now, on the other hand, and we're going through these a little bit step by step because it's important you understand that they move, you move applies to different parts here. We're not trying to cover all. We're covering the basics here. Okay, so Miss Marie comes in. She gets started, and she's doing good in the first couple of weeks. Okay, and she's actually signed up 3 or 4 people. She's on the verge of getting her first check, and then all of a sudden she disappears. Okay, guess what? We always told you there's people that come in, they'll tear it up for, a month or 2, and then they're gone, right, Miss Marie? They just disappear from this earth. Okay, it doesn't matter whether Miss Marie does something in the first 2 weeks that's really nice, or if she burns it up for the first couple of months, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months, the person does activity and then all of a sudden disappears. Well, guess what? I did the same thing. I did the concern contact 2 more times on those people, and they're over. So we just covered where a person's doing nothing in 2 weeks. Then we covered where somebody's doing something within 2 weeks or 2 months. We're going to handle them both the same way. Okay. And you cannot chase the volume, meaning that, you got somebody there that burned it up for 2 months and they created, 5,000 group volume, let's say, and all of a sudden they disappear for whatever reason. They might have gone to another company, whatever. But all of a sudden they disappear, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't afford to lose that 5,000 group volume. I got to chase them down. I've got to, and you're, like Miss Marie said, you're contacting them. Guys, that's going to push them away. That's not going to accomplish a thing. You got to have the same 3-strike rule for them as you do everybody else, and you got to move on and replace that 5,000 group volume. And if you're driving depth, like we told you, right, Miss Marie, if you're driving depth, you're working with them during that 2 months, guess what? If they leave, you don't care because you got underneath of them and you've got some people to work with underneath. So you don't care. That's the reason why we teach you depth of security. The reason why it's so important, right?
Well, and again, the they move, you move just moves down a level, right? The person you brought in may have torn it up, brought some people in, they disappear. Well, you've still got the folks in their organization. And again, the people who are moving, the people who are bringing in volume, who are building, who have some activity that you're going to reach out to and support. The ones who are not doing anything, you may do the concern contact, reach out, and personally, I'd give it a 1 shot. Mm-hmm. And I'd say, hey, I realize you're in. I don't know if you haven't been getting the support. I am here to help you. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
There you go.
And I leave it at that, because once you start going levels deep, you're talking too many people and your time's too valuable. And again, you want to focus on the people who are moving, who are taking action, who are building, because those are your leaders and that's where your focus needs to be.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, because when we're saying they move, you move, we don't want to encompass the whole organization. You can't do that. Okay. I really should have clarified. I'm talking about people I personally sponsor. If they don't move, I don't move. Okay. That's a great point. I can't believe I didn't bring it up in the beginning. Thus, the importance of listening to the whole podcast. Right. I mean, this is right at the tail end of it. And
you never know when we're going to drop that little pearl of wisdom that you
Well, I could have dropped that one in the beginning, but I certainly overlooked that. I was so focused on doing this. But let's summarize this and bring the show to a close. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so let's summarize it, guys. Let me say this. When you're doing a concerned contact, you haven't heard from them, they're doing a little bit of activity, then they disappear. They do 2 months activity, they disappear. That is not you moving first. That is you being, and this is not a play on words, this is you being a proper partner. You told them when you signed them up that you were going to be there for them, that you were partners in crime. You're not a network marketer. You're a professional business builder. You're looking for people that are the same as you, have the same mindset, willing to go out there, utilize this business model to create a new life. That's what you share. As a partner in crime, striving to achieve the same types of goals, it does not hurt for you to see a problem area and say, Marie, hey, I don't know if you notice. Okay. All right. Those concerned contacts are not the first move. So I want to make that perfectly clear. All right. They move, you move does not apply when you make that initial contact in the prospecting process. It does not apply when you do the follow-up, the scheduled follow-up. That's you taking control of your future and your business by taking responsibility and setting appointments and doing what you said you're going to do, which is do the follow-up at the predetermined time. That's not you moving first. All right. They move, you move comes into play when you sponsor them and you lay out what they need to do and them not doing it. If they're not doing it, they're not moving first. Okay. So if they're not doing anything and all of a sudden out of the blue, they contact you, that is them moving first. Okay. If I take their file and turn it upside down because I didn't hear from them, all of a sudden a month later, I hear from them, they are moving first. I will meet them. I will not be pissed off. I will not be upset. I will meet them and we'll move on from there. Right, Miss Marie? That is part of them moving first. Okay. The thing is, here's the bottom line. People have to show that they're serious by their activity, meaning that they are moving first. As Miss Marie just eloquently said, you want to focus on your leaders. Guess what? Leaders are moving first. Why? Because they're aggressively going after their goals. You can look at the back office and see the growth, right? Miss Marie, pin ranking. That is movement, guys. They are moving. If they contact you, you immediately return that call or that text. Why? Because they're your leaders. Okay. All the other people that are not doing anything, they have to make the initial contact. They have to come back to me somehow, some way, phone call, email, Rob, I'd love to get back with you. I'm sorry I wasn't there during follow-up. That is them moving first. And I will meet them. But I never change it. If they come on board and I lay out and I do the training and I say, okay, if you need, blah, 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 I do them the same way I do everybody else. And I leave them be as they requested. Or if they say, yeah, I want to talk 3 times a week, then we do that. But the thing is, we are not ever going to change. They must move first in order for me to take my valuable time and spend it on them. Miss Marie, do you have anything clarifying? Am I doing a good job or am I muddling the water here?
Nope. I think we've covered all the aspects we wanted to, at least at a very basic level, and we've summarized it very well. And I think people can walk away now understanding what it means when we say they move, you move.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. They have to physically do some activity that is a direct evidence to you that they moved first. Okay. And that means picking up the phone call. It's a predetermined time. Okay. And then from that point on, the responsibility is on them to move first. Guys, if you don't do this, here's what's going to happen. I'm not dragging this out. We're going to close it on this. Look, if you don't adopt this, if you don't use it, you're going to be like this, and you're going to lose your focus. You're not going to be that business building machine. You are inviting major trouble. Everything in this business, good and bad, is duplicated. If you do not own up to this and you stick with it, guess what? You are allowing your downline an excuse not to use it as well. And I'm telling you, you will not have focused business building machines down there, and your business is going to be loosey-goosey, and it's going to take longer to achieve what you want to achieve. This simple little thing that we're talking about today is absolutely essential in creating that speed and urgency. Okay, because what does it tell you? This little thing that we just talked about, it's telling you, do not waste your valuable time chasing people that did not take the action you asked of them. Okay, you laid everything out. If they chose not to move, that is a clear signal that they're not ready for this business. Outside of them calling saying, hey, I was sent overseas. Hey, I was in the hospital. Hey, I had a family emergency. Outside of those things, there's no reason to chase those people down, right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Tomorrow is podcast number 75, Miss Marie, if you can believe that. Wow. Unbelievable. All right. So is that a silver anniversary?
I think 50 silver. I'm not sure what 75 is.
Bamboo? Okay, guys, whatever it is, that's Miss Marie and I celebratory material or product, whatever you call it. You know, sometimes it's a ring, sometimes it's what? A spoon, a watch. I can't remember. Anyway, tomorrow is number 75, leadership conference calls, the pros and cons. Whoa, this is going to be a loaded show. Guys, there's a lot of good and bad, and sometimes ugly, that goes with participating in the conference calls. Would you not agree, Ms. Marie?
I do, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So be sure to join us right here, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yes,
we'll
absolutely.
continue providing that information you're not going to hear anywhere else. So that being said, if you will please share, like, comment on our various social media platforms. And of course, you can find us on those platforms by using hashtag #TheMLM-solution. That's hashtag #TheMLM-solution. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Register for notifications so you get a message when we drop some new content there for you. And of course, be sure to visit our website, TheMLMsolution.net. We've got some great free items there for you to pick up some valuable information. And there's 3 of them, and Rob and I had a little bit of an issue on an episode the other day about that. So grab them while they're available. Check out TheMLMsolution.net, and be sure to give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear, you understand the points that we're making. We always love that feedback, and it helps other fellow network marketers follow along and find us as well. Be sure to share us, especially with your team, because it's all about the duplication. You want to make sure they're getting this valuable information as well, and with our network marketers across the globe.
That's right. Way to go, Miss Marie. And just so you guys know, here's one thing. This is Miss Marie's favorite. She said, if I was going to give anything away, it would be this: 4 critical mistakes most networkers make, yes, even the veterans, and how to overcome them. Guys, if you're making these mistakes, you are not, and I will repeat, not be successful. The other thing is, on the opposite end of the spectrum, 5 simple steps to networking success. Guys, you master these 5 simple things, and I'm telling you, you are on your way. You combine that with the 4 critical mistakes. If you learn what those mistakes are and avoid them, you are a powerful, focused business building machine. That's what we bring to the table. So with that being said, Miss Marie, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
All right. I look forward to seeing you 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I agree. Same here, guys. You all have a wonderful day. God bless, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLM-solution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.